Pounders, we are back doing what we do best, and that is put in $10 into the big board. If you're not already subscribed, we have a little giveaway competition for the Pounders. 3 Rodger Goodell clown nose towels for the highest finishers on Underdog's big board tournament. First giveaway of many. I'm just going to keep buying these towels for every single contest we do. A lot of fun. And, putting on this jacket today remind me of a small little clip from Happy Gilmore. Green jacket, gold jacket. Who gives a shit? Let's get into it. Let's wait for, I think we might have a little delay here on the YouTube machine for whatever reason. Let me know if you guys are in the live chat. And we will jump into a big board. I am going to try to get 2 going at the same time. So hopefully they fill relatively quick, one after another. And let's see. All right. We're going to hop into the first one. The countdown. Try to get as many people in this draft as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're jumping in. It is 11 people completely open. Come on in. Come on in. This is going to be a tough one. Always fun, though. Always fun to get as many of you in here at the same time because then you can get some sharper picks. Sometimes it's easier to draft with sharper players. And let's pull out our exposures here. We have 15 left for the big board until we're full, which is good because the wife is going to pop any day. We're talking about 6 days from the due date. So any second, maybe it happens on the live stream. That'd be pretty nuts. Obviously, you'd see me dip out extremely fast. But again, I don't know if we've actually connected from StreamYard to YouTube. So if you're here, you can hear me. Let me know in comments. Here's the exposures for QBs. And honestly, I love this. Like, I love where they're at. Do I want Deshaun Watson a little higher? Yes. Do I wish we had a little more Justin Fields earlier? Yes, but we were splitting Justin Fields exposure with Lamar before the DJ Moore news. We were going back and forth, and now the Lamar Jackson situation is a little more muddy. So we'll sort of see what's going on there. But Justin Fields at 13.3, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray. Like I like this group. I think this is a strong ownership for the tournament. You do want to be sort of on different stacks. So I don't think not having a super strong stance at QB isn't a big deal. Running backs, Elijah Mitchell. A lot of this is before he blew up. Henry Miller, Tyler Algier, Damian Harris. I think the big surprise is Tank Bigsby for me. Sean Tucker, he's getting up there. I'll probably stop drafting him. I don't mind Abinkanda. Really like his tape. He breaks off some long plays, which is exactly what you want for these tournaments. Let me just pull this up and make sure that it didn't start. We're waiting on 7 people still for Underdog, the big board. So it is feeling a little slower nowadays as the tournament gets closer and closer to being completely full. 87%. Nuts. Are they going to open up another one before the NFL draft? That'd be absolutely ludicrous. So let's see. Running backs. I'm liking this crew as well. The Pirine, I liked him better when he was in the 160s. So it's tougher for me to click Pirine. So now I think I've been making the change over to Antonio Gibson. I like Khalil Herbert, but is his role safe? Not exactly. We'll see if they can get through the NFL draft without drafting a high-priced running back. Jeff Wilson, I think his ADP's it's getting to be closer to where he belongs, but it's still he's still at a good price. AJ Dillon. I think this is a super interesting one because when we look at the range of running backs where AJ Dillon is going, there's uncertainty with Penny. I mean, it's a three-headed running back crew, and Penny has a ton of injury history. It's no denying that. Jamal Williams, Alvin Kamara, unknown, unknown. Even Zach Charbonnet has unknown. I like Connor, but again, we'll see what they do in the draft. Khalil Herbert, do they draft? Tampa Bay, same thing. Buffalo just brought in Damian Harris. David Montgomery's role is a little more safe, so I would relate David Montgomery to like an AJ Dillon, where is Green Bay going to draft a running back this year? I find that hard to believe when we have Aaron Jones restructuring the contract and AJ Dillon there for another year. So I think this is like a very safe pick right now, AJ Dillon for his ADP, especially when we look at this crew where there is so much unknown with all of these running backs. So AJ Dillon, I've sort of been tending to draft him a little more as of late. And we do have the big board filling up. So let's jump on in and let's see who we got. Farachi, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. We are in the 12 spot. No streamer luck today, but again, it is a Saturday. There is no better way to spend it than drafting another big board on Underdog. Artie, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. Elims, always supporting the channel. Appreciate you guys. We'll see how this lineup turns out. 12 spot, we all know, is an ugly place to draft from. But every now and then, when you're drafting with the randoms, they do let some values fall to you. So let's see what we get on the first spin around. And let's see if we can jump into another one here. And we'll just have a little peek. We'll just have a little peek. We're waiting on 8 people. If you guys do want to jump into that one, we'll just have a little peek. We'll try to get a second one going. Who knows? Who knows? If it fills quick, then we'll definitely we're waiting on 7 there. It's slowing down though. It's slowing down. I think people are finally kind of taking a back seat, especially because free agency is sort of all done. All the big pieces have pretty much found a home. So you're not seeing as many people rush into the draft room, drafting around news, which is a very popular strategy. See JJ and then Chase, 1-2, very typical. No soup for you. This name's familiar. If I didn't call out your name and you're in this draft, let me know. For whatever reason, I am not seeing that we're connected on YouTube. This is crazy. I don't know if it's a little glitch on StreamYard. So we will get some confirmation in the chat, hopefully. TD Lamb at 5, interesting. Not something that I've seen in 135 drafts, so definitely something interesting. You might be able to get some different pairings by doing that. So I like it. I like it. I'm all for that. I am all for that. Hart, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. Very cool. All right, we're connected. We're connected. So if you go CD Lamb here, right? CD Lamb is never falling to 20. I don't think I've seen it a single time where Lamb's falling to pick 20. So CD Lamb at 5 should be able to get a very different build. So whether he did that on purpose or not, whether he did it with the intention of being an absolute huge galaxy brain genius, it's very cool. Hey, what's up, Greg? I'm Egg White. I love that. Subbed to your channel a few days ago and joined it. Let's go. All right, just send me a message on Twitter or Instagram at Fantasy Dog Pound. All I need is your email, and I can send it over. They do let me get Devontae Adams at 12 here, so we are going to take this small gift. How big of a difference is Jimmy G to Derek Carr? You know what I mean? They're both middle of the road QB2s. I don't think it's that big of a downgrade, to be honest. And let's start wide receiver heavy here. Garrett Wilson, they did bring in Lazard. Let's do a little Amon-Ra, Devontae Adams. I've been getting a lot of Garrett Wilson as of late, and for good reason because we were drafting Amon-Ra St. Brown all the way from ADP 20 down. So let's get, Amon-Ra here. Let me check my Garrett Wilson exposure. Maybe I should have done Garrett Wilson. 7%, no biggie. Try messaging you on Twitter, but not able to for some reason. Yeah, Artie says both QBs are trash. Um, Greg, why don't you just give me your Twitter and I'll send you a message if you're comfortable sharing it here. If not, you can also email me as well. What's up, Ben? Swinging the wrench around in the chat. Always here supporting the channel. We appreciate you. Oh, shoot. We did get a second draft going. SMW 88 looks familiar, but I don't think there's any pounders in this one. So I know Vinny. Believe Vinny's in the pound. Drafted from the one spot. So we are gonna double table this. Very nice. Very nice. No way. Ben says I was one pick away from placing second in NBA Daily yesterday for 3 Gs. You must have still got what, 1K? So AJ Brown goes before Diggs. I agree with that. Let's bring in Diggs here at pick 8. I'm fine with that. Let's see what Egg White's doing over here. Egg White's drafting from the 7 spot. Goes Tyreek Hill and Austin Eckler. I love that. I love that. All right. Let me find your eggs. All right. And just send a little reminder. Cool. So I just sent you a message. If you can just reply with your email, I can send that over to you. We're up in 6 picks over here. I mean, the most common thing I feel like people are doing is going Diggs and then bringing it back with Josh Allen. I might go Diggs and bring it back with Patrick Mahomes if he's there. See if that gets us a little different at all. And then maybe, just maybe, after we go Patrick Mahomes, if he's available, this is interesting here, Lester on Mahomes and Lamar, something to note. If Mahomes does fall to us, can we get D-Hop basically at ADP? Would be interesting to see. One of the potential landing spots that we're hearing for D-Hop is KC, Bills. I don't think it's gonna be Dallas anymore now that we got the news that Brandon Cooks is a Cowboy. Save a horse. So typically, yes, I would go Amon-Ra here if he's avail. Something like this. Josh Allen goes, that's fine. He probably thinks that he's sniping us, but we mentally prepared beforehand. We're up in 14 picks here, 13 picks on this board. No, my God, why does that do that? It like doesn't update the tab. It showed 13 picks away. I don't like that. It try to trick us there. Let's see what Shea does. I would want to bring in a Ramondre Stevenson. I think that them bringing in James Robinson is about the best news you can get for Ramondre Stevenson. So Cooper goes. Actually, perfect. I wonder where D-Hop went here. D-Hop went at 31 to Egg Whites. Let's bring in Stevenson, and let's bring in Justin Fields, who obviously has an elite upside on the ground. Monroe St. Brown goes at 20. Yeah, you have to love that start because you haven't been able to get that start for a while. Kelsey was going at the 4 spot early in these drafts. Amon-Ra started at pick 20, and that's when we got most of our exposure to him. I still think he's a great pick at his ADP. So we're up in 5 picks here. We are hoping to get a D-Hop. We'll see what happens. Peanut butter and waivers, welcome to the live stream, my man. Artie says, "I've had a few stops with Kelsey, Mahomes, D-Hop. Seen that a lot lately. Thought it was gonna make it different before." Yeah, people are catching up. People are doing all sorts of different layouts with these teams. Look at DK dropping just a little bit here. So if he does fall, but we definitely want a receiver here no matter what. And then we pick again at 41, which is right around where Najee goes. Egg whites with the Tyreek Hill, Austin Eckler, D-Hop, and Mark Andrews start. You have to love that. Seems super strong to me. See you, Ben. Have a good night, my man. Let's go. D-Hop does fall. Cool. Yeah. Robinson still makes you nervous. I mean, he's going to get touches. He's going to get touches. It's just, can he be efficient with those touches? Because if he's not, Coach Bill is not going to play him. So we'll see. We'll see. He had a hot start in Jacksonville last season. Like his first 4 games were pretty damn good. And ETN just quickly took over the lead back role way faster than people were thinking was going to happen. So we'll see. I honestly think bringing in James Robinson is much better for Ramondre Stevenson than bringing in a high upside rookie in the draft. Like if they used a second round pick on one of these guys, so like a Zach Charbonnet, I think it does make Ramondre Stevenson safer, especially at his ADP. In this range, what I tend to stick to is like Mark Andrews, Najee, and Jerry Jeudy, but now there's rumblings, at least in the New England area, that Jerry Jeudy is a, potential target for the Patriots, and that scares me. That scares me. So I have around 8% Jeudy right now. We've been drafting him all the way down from when he was going above Drake London. He's, like, in this range. So we've been drafting him all the way down. Now I'm starting to slow down just a little bit, let some other people eat that risk. What if he's good? That's the argument for everyone. What if he's good? What if Ronald Jones is good in Dallas? That's another one, like, it doesn't get much better news for Tony Pollard than bringing in Ronald Jones. Vinny dropping love in the Twitter machine. Appreciate you. I'm fine with going one not Judy, I was gonna go with TJ Hawk. Alright, let's bring in Najee here. And on this side of things, maybe we'd go Kyle Pitts and, like, a Marquise Brown. Interesting. So Kyle Pitts off the board. Chris Godwin going after ADP. It's just not my favorite. It's not my favorite. We have Stevenson. I'm fine with skipping these running backs. Like, I think Aaron Jones is my favorite out of this crew right here, but let me take Marquise Brown because that's a definite. Just I don't like the Baker news in Tampa Bay, but does Tampa Bay bring in Will Levis? Do they give Trask the job after a few games? Like, there's so many unknowns. Does Mike Evans move on from this team? I'm just gonna go Brandon Ayuk. He'll be a target hog, and Chris Godwin's someone that I'll draft more in cash game play rather than tournaments. Don't bring Ronald Jones into this. You have to. You have to. If you guys haven't already, please drop a like on the live stream. Hit the subscribe button if you like the best ball content and you want to jump in some of these live drafts with us. Hit the bell for notifications. You'll be the first one in the live stream. Let's go. Drake London goes at 47. Already, I saw your exposures to what's it? Drake London. I know Christian Watson was one of them, super low. And as of late, I have been trying to catch up a little bit on my Christian Watson exposure. I've noticed he has fallen just a little bit in drafts, but now with Lazard gone, not a lot left in free agency. I think they might use one of their early picks on tight end. I think Christian Watson's pretty safe. Look at this, going at 51. Yeah, I like Christian Watson at the ADP, like 45 now. So I do have 10% now, so I guess I did catch up. And Mike Evans would be very, very inexpensive for Tampa Bay to move, very unlikely. All depends what they could get in return because this team is cutting people at a pretty fast rate. We have a elite QB here with Justin Fields. You see this team did select 4 elite QBs. It's gonna make our Justin Fields all that much better of a pick, so thank you to that guy. Scary Terry here. Let's bring in Scary Terry. We're up in, what, like 8 picks? So maybe Kyle Pitts falls back to us. I doubt Jameson Williams will fall that far. I'm not really selecting Jameson Williams at ADP right now. I just don't have that much trust in Goff. It's not Jameson Williams. It's really Goff. Yeah, Christian Watson. I mean, that's the thing, right? You just never know. You just never know. And that's why I do try to spread out my exposures over the course of the off season instead of rushing to get all 150 done as fast as humanly possible, which some people think that gives you an edge. Uh, it only takes one lineup to win it, so it's hard to say what is the right way to do it, right? Maybe they do end up with a super team, but just as many ADPs that have fallen have risen. So, and I think, like, Art, I saw another one of your tweets and talking about like the rookies ADPs and how they're all really they're getting less expensive now because people are a little too high on them when they came out. That's 100% accurate. It's 100% accurate. We're up in 7 picks over here. Let's see what Egg White's been up to. So Tyreek Hill, D Hop, Tyler Lockett. I like that 3. Austin Eckler with Aaron Jones. Are you sure you don't have the draft guide already? Are you are you sure? Mark Andrew, like this team's these are all hashtag my guys. I mean, Austin Eckler, 18. Give that to me every single time. I'm expecting him to re-sign with the Chargers. If he re-signs with the Chargers, he shouldn't be going at 18. He should probably going at like 5. So we'll see. We'll see. See what Rainbow wants to do here. We do see Kyle Pitts off the board at 63. He just never falls to me in a good spot. Like, I want to draft Pitts, which is funny because I don't like London at his ADP. But at the onesie position, Pitts doesn't have to score as many points to make him worth it because The overall landscape of tight end doesn't they don't score as many points. Um, yeah, let's go Marquise Brown here. 100%. Best ball stud, if he can stay healthy, which I mean, you could say that about everybody, if they could stay healthy. Top 7 wide receiver when D-Hop was out last year in the first 6 games. Yes, we expect a slow start from Kyler, but this wide receiver room can afford a slow start from someone. Yeah, I agree, like, I I want to draft Pitts. I have 7%, so it's not like it's that bad. It's not like I'm that far off, but that does count. I have him in both small board drafts. I don't have a lot of Joe Mixon. Like, it's almost embarrassingly low. Ah, man. We'll take Joe Mixon here. I wanna do crazy stuff with that pick, though, instead of going Joe Mixon. I want it to hit, like, Dak Brandon Cooks or Daniel Jones Waller. I think it's super interesting in this spot, but where we already have Justin Fields. We spent so much draft capital on QB as it is. Let's bring in Waller. Let's bring in Waller. Let's bring in a tight end to this team. Let's bring in a tight end. How much? I gotta check my exposure on Waller. We're at 5%. So I do like alright, I do like that. I do want some more exposure with Darren Waller. They gave him a nice big deal, so and this team just added a bunch of middle of the road, if I'm being nice, middle of the road wide receivers. They just signed Jamison Crowder the other day, Paris Campbell on short money, re-signed Sterling Shepard, they have Wandale, Isaiah Hodgins. Yikes, yikes. So Darren Waller honestly has a really good shot to be leading this team in targets, in my opinion. Again, if he can stay healthy. Gotta add, like, the disclaimer at the end. But it's all about what your risk tolerance is as well, what's your bankroll. All that sort of comes into play. We're gonna get a little Washington correlation here. It's it doesn't sound as nice rolling off the tongue. Um, for that reason, I'm gonna go Quentin Johnson instead. I just think, like, week 17, if I'm thinking the most upside for week 17, what are the chances Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson both spike? It doesn't sound extremely high, so let's bring in a rookie here. Thoughts on Dotson? I have 0% of him, so I took him at 79. Not too many others stood out. I love Dotson this year. I love Dotson this year. He did a really good rookie campaign too. I mean, honestly, I like where all the Washington guys are going at ADP, even Curtis Samuel late. I think all their ADPs are pretty price friendly. So Jahan Dotson finished last season as wide receiver 50. You're getting him around wide receiver 43, but he only played 12 games last year. So on a points per game basis, he finished as wide receiver 37. So well, let's see if he can get some more consistency at QB this year, if he can stay healthy and on the field. Again, it was his rookie season. So maybe if he does take that slight jump, which I'm expecting him to, I'm drafting him like he's going to, that's for sure. I have 18% Dotson. So I'm on board. I'm on board. The train is leaving. Started drafting Dotson because of Pat. Oh, great. Great. At least it's someone different than Tyler Lockett. Shit, I like a lot of these players coming up. Damn, I wish I had 2 picks in this range. I like the Montgomery pick. I like Brandon Cooks. I like Zay Flowers. I need running backs. I need tight ends. Who needs running backs? Who needs running backs? That was silly. That was a silly comment to me. We're going Brandon Cooks. Let's stack up this wide receiver room. We're headlined at running back by Najee Harris. All set. We're up in 14 picks. And, I mean, there are good running backs in that range too at 104. Yep. Yep, yep. You mean James Conner. I didn't sell you on no Josh Conner. Don't try to get me with that. Josh Conner. Wonder if there is a Josh Conner that pops up. That'd be funny. Oh, it's not. Put you on full blast. Imagine Josh Conner, average ADP of 389. Unknown. Unknown at this point. Prospect. But guys, we're almost at the double digit like mark. Spike us over it. And yeah. Let's get some of these running backs in here. This is a gold mine. Oh, I wanted Charbonnet though. All right. I'm going Dylan over here, and I do need more exposure to Pat Freiermuth. It's extremely low. I don't know how that happened. I think it's just because I go 3 late tight ends a lot, and I skip these middle of the road tight ends. But after Chase Claypool leaves last year, I think we want a little more exposure. I'm like I'm extremely low on Freiermuth this year. I have 2%. So Waller and Freiermuth, I think this is a good combination to stop at in 18-round drafts. In 20-round drafts, we're still gonna go ahead and add a 20th rounder or 19th rounder tight end to add to this crew. But running backs are looking strong. I think I could take a break at drafting running backs. Probably not drafting a QB for a while unless we could find a stackaroo, but I doubt it. I doubt it. And we're gonna need some wide receivers. We're gonna catch up at wide receiver. After starting double wide receiver, we're kind of balancing our exposures here, and that's what you find yourself doing a lot more towards the end of the drafts, especially when you start running out or if time's running out. You're getting exposures to players that you haven't yet or, like, players that you don't have a lot of. That's what I've noticed. I don't know if it's, like, FOMO, it's like fear of missing out on a player, but for some reason, I have that with Pat Freiermuth right now. Penny goes at a hundy. So rich. Although I do like this running back room. And most likely, this guy's gonna grab Pickett, or should grab Pickett at least, right? If Zay Flowers is still here, like, I can't. I don't think I can at this point. I need to catch up at running back and or tight end. Let's see. We're picking at 104, and then we're picking at 113. There goes White off the board. I'm fine with that. Little Herbert staring me down. Pat Frymuth is there. Let's see what happens. G7. He's gonna take it all the way down, triple zeros. Oh, he goes Zay Flowers. Okay, he makes the decision for us. We're gonna go Khalil Herbert, 7 picks after ADP. Nice. Nice. Alright, you're good, man. You're good. Appreciate you. Appreciate you always coming out supporting the channel. I love the comments. I read every single comment. Whether I respond or not, my brain sometimes is in 2 places at the same time, and it cannot compute, but I read all the comments. So this is a 12-spot draft. I am not minding it at all. Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Marquise Brown, Brandon Ayuk, we do have to catch up a receiver. Like, we have to double tap receiver. We have Rhamondre Stevenson, Joe Mixon, AJ Dillon at running back. We have Justin Fields, and we have Darren Waller and Pat Fryman. So super balanced squad. And at 42, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. All right, let's talk about politics, he says. Sheesh. Sheesh. Nah. See Jared Goff go off at 109. And I'm really hoping that we can grab one of these 2 guys. Honestly, AJ Dillon in this range is becoming my new favorite go-to. If we think about the uncertainty with all the other running backs, especially the ones that go off before him, this range of running backs, there's so much unknown. Rachaad White, James Conner even, Cam Akers, James Cook, Tyler Algier. There's a lot of unknown. Isaiah Pacheco even, let's add him in that group. There's a lot of unknown. And where AJ Dillon, pretty much know it's going to be AJ Dillon and the Aaron Jones show. So I have been trying to scoop as much Dillon up as possible. We're at 13%. Add 2 more drafts to that, probably at like 14. So I'm happy with that. And at 42, how many drafts have you done? Is your big board full? Over here, we need to pick up 2 more receivers on this 11-12 turn. 132, 133. There's no chance Sky Moore makes it back to us, right? Like, give me one of these 2, and I'll never ask for anything ever again. That's not true. We can't make that promise. We can't make that promise. Uh, it's a gross range. Like, I might have to reach out for Dobbs Pierce. Yeah, so there goes Sky Moore. Standard. It is what it is. We have to make a reach. We have to make a reach. Let's bring in Joshua Palmer here. I'm on the Alec Pierce train. You guys already know that. You guys already know that. I have to go with my man. I have to. Even if Anthony Richardson does end up in Indy, I mean, we all saw those deep balls he was throwing at the combine. It looked nice. So I'm fine with it. Chuck the ball up. And F42 says, not doing today, currently at 132. We're slightly ahead of you. We're going to be at 137. I know. Close to the finish line. Crazy that it completed before the NFL draft. It's insane. It's going to. Are they going to open up? I hope they don't open up another one before the draft because then I'm going to have to jump in on those ADPs because you're going to get so many changes after the draft based on where these guys go. This is just a balanced team, not a lot of correlation. Sometimes the ugly ones without correlation make it through, though. It's all about advancing as many as you can, in my mind. Correlation obviously raises your chances to move your lineups forward, and when you're down to a 470 teams, week 17, correlation can help you spike into first. But with those rushing QBs, you don't need as much correlation with them. Let's see what G7 wants to do here. I wouldn't even mind getting, like, KJ Osborne, who I think goes a little early here, but 18 picks after ADP, like, sure, sign me up at that point. But after that, maybe bring in Dawson Knox as our first tight end for this team. Get a little Buffalo correlation. He forces me to take KJ Osborne. I like Kenneth Gainwell. I like Damon Harris at this ADP. Let's go Osborne, getting him super late, and we're done at wide receiver now. I don't think we have to draft another receiver. Definitely not. Definitely not. So it's only gonna be a 2 QB team, only 7 receivers. It's gonna allow us to go 3 or even 4 tight ends if we need to, and I don't think we're gonna need more than 7 running backs with this build, so we probably will get 4 tight ends here, which I think is interesting. Superflex, yes. Superflex is so much fun. No, I don't think they would do another big board with the same entry fee, but, I was thinking, would they do another tournament? Would they open it up before the NFL draft? I mean, there's so much time left, and these are, what, 87% full, so this is gonna fill in 2 weeks max? Like, that's less than 1% a day, and I think it's been doing over that right now. Next tournament, Superflex, yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. That was actually our highest finish last season was 22 in a Superflex. Yeah, those are so much fun. Those are so much fun. You have to get in those early too. You really do, because before the ADPs settle in, the QBs are so important. And if you get into other rooms where people don't know to draft those QBs early and often, you end up with super teams. Yeah, they love making the rake money. Let's go. Yeah, they have plenty of time to fill. So we'll see. It's just they're getting more sports involved, and you've noticed, like, they pushed the big board to the back a little bit, so less people are clicking on it, but it goes in waves. I honestly think when news comes out, people draft. They rush to the drafts to draft around the news, which is a strategy. This team's super balanced. What do we wanna do here? Running backs are sort of running out. We're up in 5 picks. We need a second QB. We could bring in a little correlation, maybe CJ Stroud and, like, a DJ Chark, and we're on the clock over here. Let's bring in Chiggy. Man, it feels wrong going Chiggy over Elijah Mitchell. It does. It does. I'm just gonna take the risk that Chiggy makes it back. Oh, no, we're up in 14 picks over here. I lost track of which we must have been on the back end. Alright, so CJ Stroud goes. I'm definitely bringing in Jeff Wilson, and we can go Bryce Young here if we need to. Let me pick it. This is the team that doesn't have Harris, but we have Pat Freiermuth. I don't love that. I really don't. I really don't. We're up in 12 picks over there. These RBs are fine. Kareem Hunt, I'm off. Devon A-Chain. Let's go Bryce Young. I mean, we can correlate him late with some Houston picks. We'll get a little different from our normal. Seth, welcome to the live stream, my man. Yeah, you've been doing more NBA dailies. Picked up second a couple nights ago. Yeah, I saw that for like 3 Gs or something. Congratulations. Congratulations. ER7, welcome to the live stream, my man. What's up? Singletary goes. He's a late way to correlate. Bryce Young. But definitely a lot of options. Definitely a lot of options, like a John Mechie late, Nico Collins. So I don't mind going Bryce Young here. I'm assuming he ends up in Houston. Maybe something gets shaken up. Maybe he ends up in Indy. Who knows? Dennis, what's up, my man? How you doing? We're doing great. We're doing great. We've got another 2 drafts out of the way. We have 13 left after this. It's looking like we're gonna be able to fill it. but who knows? Who knows? The baby has its own schedule. This team is done at wide receiver. I just have to turn it off. I don't mind Devon Achane for this team, where I think we have a better base to bring him in. We still haven't picked up a tight end, and we have Mahomes. I don't mind just grabbing a super late. All right, I think we just grab a tight end here. We surrender. Yeah, I have no Green Bay correlation. AJ Dillon's not a reason to bring in Jordan Love. Dobbs is off the board. And this team, I can't afford to bring in another wide receiver. We're done here. See if Taysom Hill can get his usual spike weeks. No Kamara for God knows how long, which is good early in the season. So bringing in Taysom Hill as the first tight end is interesting for this roster construction specifically. But does Kamara coming back week 15, 16, 17 limit his upside? Yeah, definitely to some extent. And bringing in Jamal Williams, does that limit Taysom Hill's touchdown upside in the red zone? I would say it does. I've tried NHL daily drafts. I think I've done 10 total and never turned a single profit. That's okay. Do you follow DJ Mitchell on Twitter? Because that guy he's a brain when it comes to NHL content. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel yet, but D.J. space Mitchell. I know he's been on with the Badge Bros. I think he hangs out in their Discord. He's a NHL sharp. Just in case you want to learn a little bit more about it. We see Alec Pierce, our favorite pick. All right, we're on the clock here, and it's just ugh. Anthony Richardson going at 161. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We already have Mahomes. We already have Mahomes. There's no reason to force going another QB right here. There's really not. I don't mind grabbing like Levis with Patrick Mahomes. I don't mind grabbing like a Ryan Tannehill, who's my go-to, but I'm trying to get away from it a little bit at least with these last 15s. Yeah, NHL is big brain. I watch the Bad Boys when they do the pup drafts. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh, yeah. I know they're really sharp when it comes to baseball. I don't know. Is the NHL content good? I mean, they're a good group of dudes. Fun to watch. Damn, Art, that is almost petty, but funny. ER7 Power Rangers once and always on Netflix. I haven't I haven't dipped into it. I haven't watched Power Rangers since I was 5, but maybe some nostalgic, memories will help me in these drafts. Might have to get those going. Pickett goes to the team that does have Pickens and Johnson. Solid, solid. Hunter Renfrow off the board at 166. Can't really get behind that right now until I at least see a little change with Hunter Renfrow getting traded. The Myers, I think, just blows up Hunter Renfrow's value. So we do get Mechie to fall back to us here. Let's bring in Mechie as the first pick. We're done at receiver now. Like, this is another strong group. Only have to go 7. We can catch up at running back. I like Kendrick Miller here. I like Trey McBride, but we can only pick one. Let's bring in the first rookie to this squad, Kendrick Miller. We are on a seesaw right now, balancing the 2 squads. If you guys are enjoying the stream, do me a favor, drop a like. If If you're new to the content, drop the sub, join the pound, hit the bell for notifications so you can get in these live drafts with us, and we'll bring you to Town. Or you can show us how it's done. Either or. We're up for both. Mayor goes off the board. Was gonna be our selection, but there's no worries. Uh, like, we're pretty good at running back right now. Like, I don't feel the need to draft another running back until maybe even the second to last round. Like, I know I have to catch up at tight end, so we need 2 more tight ends. This is gonna be a 4 tight end build. So 2 tight ends, 1 QB, and probably 2 running backs. So we are gonna get 7 RBs on this team. It's gonna be a 2-7-7, I believe 4 build because this we're gonna be throwing darts at the wall with this tight end room. And it is more difficult to advance your teams when you have 4 people at the onesie position because of the draft capital. Like, you can only start 1. Now, at tight end, you can start 2. 1 can hit the flex, but it's more difficult because it's not a great strategy to go 4 at the onesie position. But I think this team, it's the best possible scenario for this team. I also think there's an advantage now, while the advance rate is gonna be lower, I believe there's an advantage to having 4 tight ends reach to week 17. Ravens need Renfro, that'd be super interesting if he ended up there. We're up in 12 picks here. We didn't auto pick, right? Too much talky. So this team is done. I don't like Gesicki. Can bring in a Kincaid. There's a lot of good landing spots for Kincaid. Like, if Kincaid goes to Dallas. Sorry, Jake Ferguson. Sorry, Jake Ferguson. I didn't mean to do that to you. Let's see what our man Egg White's been up to. At QB, he has Geno, Derek Carr. At tight end, he has Mark Andrews so far. Running backs, Austin Eckler, Aaron Jones, Tyler Algier, Donta Foreman, and Jalen Warren. I like the RB group right there. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Lockett to go with his Geno pick. Jahan Dotson, Michael Thomas, Michael Gallup, DJ Chark. I like the wide receivers as well. I'm liking this ADP for Gallup, especially since Schultz moved on. Schultz was one of the major targets for the red zone for Dak. Now, do they bring in a tight end? I think there's a high possibility that they draft a tight end, but they typically, in the past, haven't drafted a tight end until the middle of the drafts. Yeah, Hunter Renfrow too. Oh my God, Duvernay is not a number 2. Even when Mark Andrews was down and then Bateman was down, we saw Duvernay on the field way too much, running routes, and it was just he's not a great route runner. He bleeds out a lot of those routes, so he's a gadget guy. He's serviceable in an offense as a gadget guy, but yeah, you're 100% correct. I can't get myself to draft Duvernay, even though he had a few spike weeks. He had 3 touchdowns, I think, and only one of them was caught. He had a jet sweep touchdown, he had a punt return, and yeah, one was caught in the back of the end zone. We're up in 2 picks on both boards. We're done at receiver here. This team could use another tight end as 1 pick and another running back. See what happens. Run the clock over here. This team still needs another tight end. But who do we have falling for running backs? Jerick McKinnon to the Mahomes team. 1 more year, run it back. 1 year. 1 more? Yeah. Let's go RB here. Look how many tight ends are falling. We should be able to get one of those guys to come back to us. Over here, yeah, I just want 1 more tight end. Give me Conklin. I have a ton of Hunter Henry. I don't really think the Gesicki news hurts me. You're drafting him for the touchdown upside. And running back, dude, just go McKinnon again. I don't mind going McKinnon again, to be honest. If he does return on a cheap one-year deal, was a captain, maybe he wants to win another championship. I just think he has the most upside out of this group, like, over James Robinson. I like Chuba, but and I don't even have, like, a ridiculous I have 6%, so I've just started catching up on McKinnon. It's like the FOMO. At the end of drafts, you kinda see who you don't have enough of. It's like, and at 42, Kincaid's great. I have way too much exposure, though. It doesn't kill you if he misses. For the range he's going in, I have 10%. It doesn't kill you. I like to bring up my Tim Patrick exposure last year. We lost a 14th to 13th round pick in 1 out of every 6 teams. That was our exposure to Tim Patrick before we got the news. One more tight end here, and we're up in, what, 14 picks after this? QBs. Got an idea. We have an idea. We have an idea. So 2 picks left over here. Hill, McBride, Kincaid, Jelani Woods. It's enough. It's enough. Diggs, Hopkins, Terry McLaurin, Marquise Brown, Quentin Johnston, Brandon Cooks, KJ Osborne. We used a lot of draft capital on these guys, and then we got KJ Osborne 18 picks after ADP, so I'm comfortable stopping with 7 here. Najee Harris, Khalil Herbert, AJ Dillon, Elijah Mitchell, Jeff Wilson, Jerick McKinnon. We're gonna grab what, one more RB? Patrick Mahomes at the helm. I think that's a well-balanced team. Over here, we have Justin Fields, Bryce Young, Ramondre Stevenson, Joe Mixon, AJ Dillon, Jeff Wilson, Kendra Miller, Jerick McKinnon again. I think the RBs are okay. It's gonna obviously depend on Joe Mixon, what happens with him. I don't have a ton of Mixon, sitting at 4% right now, but I think 4 or 5% is probably good to be at least for my where I wanna be with my risks. Wide receivers, Devontae Adams and Monroe start. Marquise Brown, Brandon Ayuk, Josh Palmer, Alec Pierce, John Mechie. 3 tight ends, we're done here. I think we're strong at tight end. This team is going to need I mean, we could go another receiver for sure. We'll see who makes it back to us. But that team's pretty well balanced. This team has 2 picks left. We're up in 3 picks. Hardy. Everyone's on the Hardy train right now. I don't know. It's okay. He's a burner. They just brought in Trent Sherfield, so they're gonna be sharing field time, so I don't know how I feel about Hardy. Dude's, like, ridiculously small. It's like 5'6" or 5'7". And over here, we're gonna go Gardner Minshew. Bring him in with Jelani Woods. Who knows? Maybe Anthony Richardson isn't ready. But, yeah, who cares? We have Patrick Mahomes here. He's gonna get the start every single week except for the bye week, so we just bring in just a filler. We catch up to tight end. We're up in 6 picks for our last pick over here. And wide receiver's done. I think we could just bring in an upside running back. And I don't know who's in the live stream, so we'll save the pick. But we got one in mind. Rodger coming off the board at 228. Damn, look at this guy's wide receiver room. All rookie running backs, headlined by Bijan and Barkley, which is interesting. I would like to see at least one more veteran on that team that's going to get guaranteed touches, but it's just so hard to hit on 4 rookie running backs. If you're drafting 4 of them, what are the chances you smash on all 4 picks? It's ridiculously low. This is the squad that I want Dearness Johnson for, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna go Dearness Johnson. Honestly, the handcuff running back that I'm going to want behind Travis Etienne in half point PPR, guy that should have a little change of pace back role anyways coming in. Had what, 5.1 yards per carry last season when he played. He looked really good. And there's the upside too if Etienne were to go down. JaMychal Hasty isn't going to get, the majority of those carries. Yuck. I guess I can bring in a CEH. I don't have a lot of CEH. I think that they might move on from him. We'll see. And one more receiver. Let's scroll the F down. Bring in Bryce Ford Wheaton, who's been one of my favorite draft picks at the end. This guy just has freakish measurables. He absolutely blew away the combine. He's 6'4", like 218, and he ran a 4.38. He blew away all the drills. So super interesting last pick for the 20th round, Bryce Ford Wheaton. I think his draft capital is going to skyrocket. Chances he's late second, but most likely going to be in the 3rd or 4th round. Some of these guys, it's so funny, like 20th round, people just reaching down here, like Trey Palmer, A.T. Perry, Parker Washington's another one. He's a riser. He's a early declare. He had a nice early blow up, which is what you want to see. You want to see them have that blow up year early into their college career. It's just one of those measurables that you look for success into the NFL. Parker Washington, interesting guy. All these, like, who knows? Who knows? Just so excited for the NFL draft. I know that I want to sprinkle some of these guys in because if you can end up with an RB2 and you're getting them in the 16th, 17th round, or if you can end up with a wide receiver 2 or 3, even with one of these rookies going extremely late, it's going to give you a huge advantage. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to draft 6, 7 on a team because that's going to lower your chances. Parker Washington love again. Stephanie, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. You have to give it to him. You have to give it to him. Watch Mingo's highlights. Yep, Mingo's solid. Yeah, the 4 tight end build, super rare for me. Probably my 2nd or 3rd time that I've done it out of 138 drafts. So that is it's a gross one. It's a gross one. But I think it was needed for this squad. I think we're strong at wide receiver. No one late was really going to, at least in my mind, provide value to this team. Super strong. We use a lot of draft capital at receiver as well. RBs, like, I mean, not even like the most dusty room. Like, I actually like this room a lot. And yeah, I don't think bringing in like an early QB in this range, like a Ryan Tannehill, makes much of a difference. So we'll just go late on Gardner Minshew and throw that rock right into the pond, see where it lands. All right, guys. Appreciate everyone coming out. A lot of fun. Another double out of the way. We have 13 drafts left. We have a baby on the way in 6 days. If you guys enjoy the stream, drop a like on the way out. Appreciate everyone coming out. All the support we're getting. Absolutely love it. We're going to be here all summer. Have a good day, everybody.